And well, with us in the studio is a registered dietitian and nutritionist, Ezeoke Dorinda. Good to have you on Newsnight tonight. Well, I mean, you listened to the DG of NAFDAC there, reassuring Nigerians. But let's talk about, first off, how reassuring is it for you when you hear that the locally manufactured Indomie is safe to consume? And by the way, what is the nutritional value of noodles generally, whether it's Indomie or whatever other brand you're talking about? Well, is there any nutritional value to us?
We can categorize it under the carbohydrate class because it's made from, to my knowledge, flour and a lot of things that they put in it. So it gives an energy-giving food, except you add other ingredients like your veggies and maybe you add eggs, and then you're increasing its nutritional value. But usually, if I'm to advise anyone to take noodles, I always advise, especially for kids, make sure you add vegetables in them, so they are able to have easy bowel movements after taking noodles.
But on their own, what I'm hearing from you is noodles on their own, without the veggies and all of that, may not be entirely wholesome.
Yeah, may not be entirely wholesome. That is why you need to add every other thing. Just like when you make your rice, you need to add stew and other things to increase its nutritional value.
Well, you can't compare rice with noodles.
True. But then, yes, it is advisable to always add all of those, so you increase the nutritional value of.
You know, listening to Professor Additives, what readily comes to mind, because she used the phrase that she's healthy living buff, someone who would want to get
a diet buff.
Yes. So now that we have a dietitian here, speak to us about healthy living, because now that the noodles is in focus, many have said this is what we give to our children. This is the easy quickie, that we make to get on the road. So what are those easy things?
Generation.
Yes, honestly, what are those things that we should be looking to get in as Nigerians, especially now that we know we live a fast-paced life this time?
Okay, so I always say that feeding or prepping for food in the family is one of the most difficult tasks to actually do. Ask any woman, they will tell you. It's not easy to have something today and you're already thinking of what should come up tomorrow or thinking of what to come up the following day. So it should be a family thing. It should be a communal energy, like let everybody make their input. Now, if you have kids, there are some considerations you need to make for the children. You as an adult can actually wake up and eat noodles. Their bowels are not as strong as you as an adult. So you need to consider, okay, these children need to be some form of bowel movement and all. That's why you need to add in vegetables. The main thing is whatever you do, we always preach that moderation is key.
Right.
In whatever you do. But when you begin to go overboard, some mothers, because they want to follow the trend, they tend to do the wrong things when feeding their children. Like my child, other children come to school with Indomie and egg. Egg in itself, it's okay, it has protein, and then you just make the noodles plain. And some of them will, with the excuse of, whenever I put the veggies, they tend to pick it out. But there is a way you could blend them, and they're still in the meal.
Right.
The child wouldn't see that. So if you're able to,
but I mean, one would think that the safest thing to do would be to expose those kids very early in life. But let's talk about additives to food. There's the MSG that seems to be, everywhere in all our foods, especially if you eat out a lot, and seasonings, the cubes. One has heard so much about how they're linked to, cancer, ovarian cancer, especially in women, prostate cancer in men. Let me throw this in. 1.92 million Nigerians actually, Nigerians actually get 1.92 million servings of noodles. And there's a high incidence of cancer in Nigeria. Some 2,000 Nigerians die every year of the 100 and so thousand that are, positive yearly. One is tempted to think that there might just be a link between, what we're discussing and the rising cases of cancer in Nigeria. So what do we need to do now? Because it looks like it's a clear and present danger in Nigeria.
Yes, just like the DG said, there are local made spices that we could use to substitute all of these. And then a lot of people, when they cook, they tend to, they feel Maggi. Like I've met a family who told me that they don't eat salt, but they eat Maggi. They eat the bouillon cube, but it is the same thing. This one contains salt. There's salt in it already. So excess, like I said, too much of everything is bad. When you think you can substitute this one for another, if we are able to bring in all these local spices, we have the
like Iru,
we have the dawa, we have and some of these natural foods have their own natural salts in them, but due to maybe growing up or because of the kind of parents we grew under, there's this thing about, no, this food is not as sweet as it should be. Just keep pouring salt until your ancestors say stop. So if you are able to have measurements, Nigerians don't cook with measurements. They just know, okay, this food is not good enough. If it's not sweet enough to your taste, add more Maggi. It keeps telling you add more Maggi, add more cubes, add more cubes, or okay, add more salt. There's no measurement, there's no, I think most of these things is ignorance. That's why we always say if you teach a woman, you teach if you teach women, you teach nations.
That's right.
So if that is taken into consideration, whenever you're cooking, make sure there is a measuring spoon, so you're able to, decipher how much you're actually putting inside the food.
All right, if I recall what we used to be taught in school those days, on your platter, what are the things that you need? Help us very quickly in terms of colors. I mean, to be healthy, I mean, considering the state of the economy, with this economy, how can we manage to stay healthy through what we consume, through our food?
Okay, now depending on your energy expenditure, if you're one who doesn't really do much of you don't work, like you're not a bricklayer, or you don't do any hard work. Now we always tell them, the hospital, the size of your fist, not mine, your own fist, when you do like this, this should be the size of the carbohydrate on your plate.
So like, can we see the size of your fist?
No, but it's naturally small, it's naturally small, and I don't do carbohydrate.
No, but you need them.
No, I don't do that.
You need them, actually. Your cells need them.
Balance, right?
Balance. Your cells need them. Your brain needs carbohydrates. So doing without carbohydrate, even for people who are diabetic, we still give carbohydrate. But we just limit the amount of carbohydrate we give. Now, if you put this, and as we grow up, we don't have time to. Most of us don't have the time to always go out and jog and do all of those very strenuous stuff that actually help us burn. So you have to look for a way to curb all of these so that you be on the safe side. So this, and then you increase your protein level, and then your vegetables, your fruits, and there's one thing that people always put by the side, and that's water.
I think it's a fine place for us to leave it. We drink water on that.
Drink as much water as you can.
So, and that's water.
Yes.
We tend to neglect that. A lot of people think, oh, if I eat and I take Coke, or sorry, I take fizzy drinks, and then it is okay, but it's not. Nothing can replace water on its own. So there should be a balance.
Okay.
We'd like to thank you for your time.
Much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I hope we're reminded to stay healthy through our nutrition.
And don't forget the fist.
Size of your fist, not the big fufu.
Exercise too.
Exercise.